evening, and welcome to Damage Does D&D. We are on the Elusive Tide. Well, we're not on the Elusive Tide. We've come off the Elusive Tide to fight some things and beat up an enemy. Pirate Master will explain everything. Take it away.
So, last we left off, you had joined the battle at Skywatch. You'd fought your way through a large contingent of blue blades up to a confrontation with their kingpin, Kai Shun, the man who had betrayed Zarut so many years ago now, and was seemingly making a play for power over the seas. A long battle ensued with the Blue Boys, Eyeless Klein and Zarut, heading straight for Kai Shun, Aldris and the Menagerie of Chaos distracting the Blue Blades, and Lack and Quarantine blasting out enemies left, right and centre. Eventually it came down to a confrontation between Zarut and Kai Shun. Kai Shun with his pistols pulled upon Zarut, and Zarut with his arcane revolver. The shots fired out and Zarut began to fall, but the aid of his crew, in particular Eyeless, holding him up and allowing him to get the finishing blow upon Kai Shun. And this is where we are picking up, as the rest of the battlefield is cleared. Many of the Blue Blades are being routed as the Arsamar above rally and chase them down. I believe, Zarut, you are currently collapsed, sat next to the slowly cooling body of Kai Shun.
Emboldening.
Yeah, colder.
Dewarming.
Freezing? No, that's not right.
Dewarming.
I shouldn't go brrr.
Yes, the dewarming
It's
body.
a medical
of
term.
Kai Shun.
Dewarm. You wouldn't understand. It's a medical term. Dewarming.
Deworming. Wait, no.
That's a different medical term.
As the battle in this area dies down, what do you all like to do?
Arliss is going to remain sort of positioned, sort of standing almost bodyguard sentinel for the captain while he does what he needs to do.
I'll take a flight around the area just to see if it's safe, and then head back to the captain.
Give me a perception check for me, Lack.
And I'm just going to remind you that sort of Eyeless picked up the pistols and they're currently in the slot in the back of his shield at the moment, just until the captain's ready.
18.
The battle seems to be changing heavily in the Arsamaran pirates' favour. The Blue Blades are routing. It seems that news of Kai Shun's death has spread, and they are fleeing and doing what they can to get away.
Okay. There's no danger around us at the moment.
No.
That's good. Then I'll head back to the captain and report in.
Klein is just going to look at Quarantine and give her a nod. And then he is going
bit me, you know. It's not normally the type of foreplay I go for, but
he takes it in but doesn't reply because he's going to have his trident in his hand rather loosely, thinking back to his last vision and see if it is pointing to anywhere, especially Kai Shun.
Roll a... what I'm going to do, I'm going to have you do a faith check. For you, I think it's going to be Constitution and your proficiency.
oh, Klein, when is your trident going to point at Quarantine?
Constitution plus proficiency.
Innuendo, please, not straight up requests. So yeah, Constitution plus proficiency.
Okay.
I thought it was a constitution check without comment.
17.
17. It does seem to be pointing towards the body of Kai Shun.
I will take a walk over to you then. Here.
You walk over and the trident seems to be pulling you to push it into his chest.
I hold it back and look down at the captain. Are you staring into the abyss or are you taking in your surroundings?
I'm
I've woken up from the abyssal stare, but I am still just sort of sat on the deck, knees up, arms on legs, just looking around, making sure everyone's doing things. But I will acknowledge you as you come over.
Well done, Captain. Well fought. Well won.
Well done, Glenn.
Thank you. Bit of a weird question here, Captain, but going back from like those visions I had and everything, it seems like my trident wants to plunge itself into Koishun's chest.
Now there's an offer.
He is already dead.
I know, and like the last vision I had where I thought about it on the way over here, it was a little slightly different, and as I did something similar in the vision, it filled one of my it'll point out like one of the slots here in the trident, as if it's something I am to do.
I'll rock up, right, just rub face a little bit. Looking down at Kaishun, is there anything I can immediately see on his person that would be worth keeping? His armor or anything?
His armor seems very well made. Maybe of value to someone, but beyond that, you know he was a shrewd man. He wouldn't have kept his valuables on him.
Well,
and there is, I should say, there is what seems to be a small pouch on his belt that he was drawing bullets from for one of his pistols.
interesting. I'll lean down and pick that up.
Going to pick it up, and the flap opens up, and you notice that all of the bullets are carved from rubies. They're crystalline.
I'll pocket that for now. Go ahead, Mr. Klein.
Thank you, Captain. And yeah, so I will, again loosely, but so it's still gripped in my hand, just allow the trident, and if I need to, just put force behind it as well. As from the dream, I push it into his chest, roughly where obviously his heart would be.
As you do that, it seems to push into his chest, but doesn't carve a wound. Instead, it's like pushing it into a pool of water. And as you push it in, you hear the clink of metal. You pull it out, and you see kind of just about speared on the end of the center prong of the trident, a heart cast of gold.
Just like the vision, I was about to say said, but that wouldn't make sense. Showed.
There's no wound on Kaishun to be seen.
And from the vision as well, Klein will just upright the trident, because from the vision, kind of almost like melted down as such, and then fell into the socket.
Pardon, sorry?
I'll straighten the trident like in the vision, as if so like the prongs are pointing upwards, and in the vision it's almost like the heart melted and then slowly went into one of the sockets on the trident.
You kind of do that, and it kind of topples and falls from the prong. You kind of instinctively catching it. It's weighting your hand, but doesn't seems inert. It's not doing anything.
You're right, Captain.
Yes. That's over.
Can't begin to imagine how you must feel.
I think at this point he's been an enemy longer than he was ever a friend.
But when you spent a significant portion of your life working towards a goal and the goal is suddenly achieved, you've got to figure out what you're going to be doing next with your life.
Well, I'm not the only member aboard the Elusive Tide with goals to achieve.
Quite so, Captain. Is it possible that you would like your frenemy here to be joined with his compatriots? And I just gesture to my belt.
I would sooner he weren't kept around on our ship as a reminder.
Very well,
If
Captain.
you would let this one go, Aldris.
Of course.
Mr. Aldrich, didn't you have the parrot-headed captain to claim?
Well, funny thing, that one didn't betray me or cause me harm. So it would be nice to have a different shape, I must admit. But as far as I'm aware, it's not really worthy of a place on the belt now, is it?
I can think of somebody's head I wouldn't mind seeing on your belt, Aldris.
Oh? And who might that be?
That time will come.
We'll get him quarantined.
Righto.
I can think of nothing more fitting.
I just want to cut the head off of Kaishun anyway. Press 2 gold coins into its eyes. And for you, my queen. And just drop his head overboard.
Okay. So the head seems to vanish as it hits the ground, as it hits the water, and the body seems to have an aura around it. Like a hallowing, almost. Where the body is... Ilis and Aldris, both of you would be familiar with the idea of protecting a body from being raised, from being used after its death, and you suspect that has happened to this body of Kaishun.
Interesting.
As you're doing this...
After all, we were... Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
As you're doing this, you hear some heavy footfalls and the clanking of metal armor as the angel from earlier approaches. Who speaks for you all? Who is your leader?
I will gesture to the captain.
Captain Zarut Skazer.
War Maiden Araquiel. It is a meeting. I thank you for coming to the aid of Skywatch. Your aid is appreciated, pirate.
Sorry, that seemed hard for you to say. Could you just repeat?
It is appreciated. And as much as I would request different scenarios due to this, she looks down at the body of Kaishun and just kind of scowls at it for a moment. The way things have gone, I see no reason to immediately cast you out. Which god do you sail under?
We sail under many gods.
Indeed, we do sail under many gods.
But we are here...
Thea primarily.
We are here at
also...
the behest of Orala, Queen of Gold.
I see.
She set us upon this course.
Our captain's boat, Spip, sails under the flag that he has chosen, which is Alcea. But we are a crew of many faiths,
I see. You sense that she's kind of like carefully analysing each of you and kind of spotting any holy symbols amongst you, kind of noting your lunar kind of majesty, Eyeless. Good to know. None of you are bloodthirsty. This is well appreciated. And what is the name of your vessel?
The Elusive Tide.
Well, as thanks, I will have your vessel added to the list of those whitelisted for Skywatch. And as thanks, once we have our wonderful little town in order again, you are welcome to come by. I am sure that we can find some technology or reward that can be recompense for your aid in this battle.
You are most gracious, War Maiden.
Thank you. Now, I must attend to my soldiers. She nods. You notice that the devices that had been kind of clamped on her wings that were clipping them are no longer there. And she spreads them, and you can just see these angelic wings, bright white and golden feathers, but with metal attachments and bronze and brass gizmos as part of them, as she just kind of takes off and joins her host in routing the rest of the blue blades away.
Delightful creature.
Big fan of pirates by the looks of it.
I think her companion was a little bit more my taste.
Are any of you
Sorry,
are any of you still particularly injured? If so, gather round, and I will do what I can until we can find some more hospitable surroundings, shall we say, and Mr. Kent can come and pick us up. And you'll just see sort of Eyeless in not use the chalk like he normally does. It's almost he's writing with fire with the big staff, with the remains of the magic that he's expended during the fight, and begin the prayer of healing.
Okay. So, is anyone else doing anything whilst Eyeless is casting prayer of healing?
Yeah, so whilst all of that was going on, anybody who was stood near to Klein or just looking over to him would have seen that he wasn't particularly paying attention to the War Maiden, and was just kind of looking over this golden heart in his hand. Does it feel to Klein, to me, that it should be with me?
Insight check.
Yeah, make an insight check against.
I wasn't asking for that. Every time if someone's like,
I was thinking of insight before the memes came in to kind of try and intuit what you're meant to be doing here. What is the purpose of this item?
To pump blood.
18.
18. You kind of hold it, and it feels like it has potential. It's not quite what you need yet, but you would need someone, say, someone of grand divine power connected to the pirates who has a decent commanding of treasure, of gold. Someone whose domain that would be.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I kind of knew that. I needed to make it make sense for Klein in the story.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I'll just...
Mr. Klein.
Very well done in the battle. I was just as confused as most other people were.
Why were you confused? I'm sorry.
Well, there was like 15 million captains.
Were
I've
there?
seen you turn in it before.
Well, there's a lot of ships, you see, so demands a lot of captains.
Might need your help with this, I think.
Certainly.
And it'll... feels like
Put my hand out
I
for
might
it.
need your help with this. It's what was in my vision, and apparently is what potentially imbues my staff.
What do I have in my hand?
It is a physical tiefling heart that is entirely made of solid gold.
Now this is a thing of beauty. So, technically, we should dedicate this to Orala.
That's what I was thinking.
So, I'll have a quick look at Klein's trident.
Make a religion check if you want.
Sure. A religion check. Oh no. Natural one.
One.
Yep.
It's very pretty. Very shiny. Doesn't look like it'd fit in the socket that
So,
Klein has talked about on his trident.
what was your thoughts on the process, Mr. Klein? Were you trying to dedicate this to Orala and perhaps have her grant you a favour?
Well, no, but
Right.
my vision's kind of concluded in that I put the trident into Kaishun's chest, and the
Right.
heart came out on the trident like it just did,
Right.
but more secure. And then it kind of just melted down and went into this little slot here.
Right.
Do I need to make an offering to Orala for that to happen?
I think that would be a very good idea. You see, the Queen of Gold, as she's known, does like gold.
Is
So,
the heart the offering? Like, I need to show that I don't need it?
I think
you get-
that you should definitely try. Perhaps. Well, I'll give you back the heart. Perhaps put the heart on top of the trident, as you saw in your vision. Close your eyes. Think of Orala, and think of the vision you had, and dedicate your service to her.
But I already dedicate my service to someone.
Yes, but this will ensure that your service is dedicated to Orala as well, who is, after all, more important. Hey, I got a natural one. What can I
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you?
completely. Right. Let me just try something first, okay?
Of course.
And I'm just going to move over to the side of the ship here.
I will follow.
I will do some of what Aldous says, but with my back to the water, I will have the heart kind of like hold the heart on the middle trident of what it came out on. I will then go into my pouch and I will get 50 gold out, and then chuck them behind me into the water.
You don't hear the splashes of the coins. The heart remains inert.
Throw it in, and if it starts to sink, jump in after it.
And I
Now,
do exactly
being
the
as
same.
Quarantine is an expert in religion, I should suggest that you don't do anything that she says. But,
I know what I want to do, but I need to make it sense for what Klein would do.
But all of my offerings, you will have noticed, do get thrown to the sea. But you need to invoke Orala. You need to say the words. Otherwise she will not listen. She will gladly accept the offerings. But unless you tell her what you're doing, how will she know that this is the powerful thing that you want it to be?
As Eyeless is casting the prayer of healing, when he comes to the word faith, he will look directly at Klein and emphasize the word faith.
So I do that. I Klein. I don't know what's going to fucking work here, guys. I'm a bit stumped as well. But Klein, fuck, you really do become dumber when you play a dumb character, don't you?
Try playing one with no
Unfortunately,
memory.
the inverse isn't true.
No, that's not true either.
Yeah, okay. So I close my eyes. I don't say it out aloud because the only little bits what Klein has done to do with his faith and to try and use it and contact anyone has been all in his own head, calling out. But basically dedicates this to Arala and gives her thanks for her knowledge and guidance to where we are now, and then chucks the heart behind him into the waters.
As that happens, I will just bless Klein.
Okay. You throw the heart over your shoulder, kind of like trying to focus intently on this, and you hear the bunk of it hitting the water and sinking in. And you kind of think for a moment, a bit confused, and you look down in your hand, and the heart is still in your hand. You suspect that there's something you're missing here, something you need to... Perhaps you're not in the right place.
Perhaps a return to the temple, Mr. Klein.
I think so. Sorry,
Yes.
that was just me picturing that it's stuck in my hand.
Yeah.
Right, because when we spoke the last time, it was said that there was like 3 trials I might have to do.
Quite.
So, yes.
Lord Bethsire did mention that the temple would probably be the best place to do this.
Righto.
But now we know that it cannot be lost overboard from you.
Yes, indeed. I'll kind of put it in his backpack. And just look, as I look right now, and severely dumbfounded.
Aldous is nonplussed. He doesn't understand why Arala hasn't accepted a gift of gold.
Can I do something while the humans are speaking?
Certainly.
What humans?
You are in... I assume you're still in your crocodile form in the alligator.
I'm going to go up next to
I think I'm the only human.
and I'm going to look at Crocodile, and I'm going to try and convey, we'll talk later, in crocodile form. If that doesn't work, philosophical question, can 2 wild shapes talk to each other if they're the same
I would
creature?
say that 2 wild-shaped druids can communicate to each other, especially as you're wild-shaped into the same kind of animal.
I'm going to say, let them go with the first idea. I want to see what conveying will talk later. In
It'll just
I
be
need to
lots of
consult map. Ballygator looks like
gesturing upwards, and trying to wink.
There's a kind of unspoken language of druidism in Druidic that you can kind of communicate through the way that animals communicate with each other.
So we can have a conversation.
Yeah, effectively. No one else will be able to understand it.
Fine.
let's do a conversation.
I know, I've worked it out. You're Kirkin.
Yes.
You can do what I can do.
Not as well as you can.
Do you want to know a secret?
Tell me.
I have been working on this for weeks and weeks and weeks. But originally I thought the rhino was Klein, but I've noticed something during the fight, right? I saw Klein and I saw 3 captains. but I didn't see Lack. So I think Lack is the rhino. Crocodiles can't look up, so he can't see Lack fighting. That's his justification for it. So I was thinking that maybe me, Lack, and you could have like some sort of club where we all just share animals and just have good friendship time.
I would be honored.
And you could bring your birds as well. I know that's you.
Is that not just dinner
Yeah.
where you share animals?
Yeah.
I just want to add, I just picked up polymorph.
There's
You probably already have one, but definitely an inspiration point for
don't
that.
use them.
I can't get the name Kleino out of my head now.
Yeah. There's a few more
Clinosaurus.
mysteries that I thought we could get together and solve. Like, when I go into octopus form,
Mm-hmm.
I have a 9th tentacle. And I can't work out how to control it. That's mystery number 2.
I think his tentacles still waving about on the deck at the moment.
No, I don't think he lasts that
No,
long.
it dissipates quite quickly.
And then there is this Poe. And I'm not sure who that is. I mean, it might be me as well. I'm just not sure.
Well,
But
they seem to be an ally.
these are the mysteries that I'm trying to solve at the moment.
Would be glad to discuss these with you.
We just did.
That is entirely fair.
Okay, I might go for a little bit of a swim while they decide what to do, and I'll just dive into the water and have a little play.
Okay. So around that time, I'll say, Eyeless, your prayer of healing finishes.
Yeah. So, Lack, myself, Quarantine, the captain. The 2 druids seem to be okay. So, all 6 of us that are still on the deck get 16 hit points back.
Thank you very much.
As that's happening, Zaru, have you gotten the message I sent you?
Oh, dude, it's...
Sorry, was that including me?
Yes,
Okay, so it was
16.
16. Wow. Okay, cool. Done.
I got a 5 and a 6 on my d8, so
Nice. It's me back to full.
I'm 3 points from full, so that'll do me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look down look to the side, quite surprised. Hi, what are you doing here, Gabby? I thought you were on the ship.
Hen sent me on into this to tell you that the Blue Blades is running away. The battle's kind of died down. So he said to come and find you and see if you were doing all right and help you out if you had any trouble. Journey and Nuxia are hiding out just over there. I don't know if you need any more help. She kind of looks over and sees Kaishin's body and is like a little bit unsettled, but kind of
Headless body.
takes it out of her mind.
Don't worry. That was the boss.
Grim.
He's dead now.
Yeah, well,
That's why the blades are fleeing.
I'm pretty sure there was a good man in there somewhere, but
I'm not sure that's true.
I don't know. You never really knew him when he was with Lily.
Well, he was. Some
I
people,
suppose he did betray you, so.
yeah. Some people are just so full of mistrust and the desire for power that they will betray anyone, to take anything. And I think that's just all he ever had.
Quarantine's eye twitches.
Well, Astok can lead you guys back to the ship. Kent had it come in to fix a couple of the bits of damage we took. Nobody's badly injured. We did quite well out there, actually.
Good. I'm sure you did. Well, if we are all ready,
Aye, Captain.
No, I'm all dressed.
I'm gonna stand. I am gonna pick the headless body of Kaishun up, just slump him over my shoulder, and walk to the edge of the ship, sort of over here. I can't move Kaishun. Just say goodbye, old friend, and just sort of plop him off the edge.
His body kind of limply just falls into the water and just sinks, disappearing beneath the waves.
Back to the ship, then.
Okay. So, you make your way through the battlefield. You see many of the Blue Blades are either dead or have been captured. Various ships are either being completely broken down, fires are being put out, and slowly the port is being brought back to its former self. You eventually find the Elusive Tide close to where you were dropped off. You can see a couple of... It's taken a little bit of damage that the crew are dutifully repairing, and Kent is kind of in full swing, kind of giving out orders for your terms. As, Captain, welcome back aboard.
Oh, good job, Kent.
Yes. It's been a long time since I've commanded a ship in battle like that. It was thrilling.
Frankly, sir, I fail to see why you stick around. You should have a captaincy of your own.
Oh, this is fine. I enjoy this role. I trust the business was handled. I sent Gabby, Journey, and Muktia to come and find you.
Yes, they found us after all the fighting had finished.
Well,
But everything went as well as expected, I think.
Good to know. Well, the Asamar seem content for us to just make our leave, so as I bring you onto the world map.
I'm surprised the War Maiden isn't pushing our boat out the dock as we speak.
Oh,
Yes, the Asamar have always had a bit of a dim view of us pirates. They think they're better than everyone else, which...
We've been invited back, though.
Really?
We have been whitelisted.
We've been whitelisted.
That is certainly unheard of.
Well, I mean, we did kind of say fair.
It did seem like she was saying it for a mouthful of treacle, but there you go.
We've freed the war.
That I can believe.
You're very quiet, Ash.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Where are we going then, Captain?
Well, may I make a suggestion, Captain?
Yes, please do.
We should head back to Orala's tomb to assist Mr. Klein with his conundrum.
And to tell
report back to our queen.
The queen herself of our triumph here.
That you have been successful.
Yes. Well, to Orala's tomb.
Indeed. I'll stride up to the wheel and set course for...
Yes. I constantly forget her name.
So do I.
Alara will happily kind of like leave the wheel to you. She seems...
Thank you, Alara.
She just kind of nods and wanders off to go and rest. She seemed quite exhausted from the from basically driving the ship during the battle.
I'll take it from here if you want to rest.
She's gone.
Never wants to have a conversation, that one. Very strange.
So, are you setting sail for Orala's tomb?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'll as we're making preparations, dropping the sails, playing anchor, whatever other nautical terms are, I'll sort of go around individually to whoever's on deck and give them a thank you and a well done and a excellent job and all that sort of stuff. Before
Proshka's kind of like parading and cheering about the battle. She seems very stoked about it. The others are.
As I sort of go past Proshka doing the same for her, I will give like the hardest slap on the shoulder as I can muster. She'll barely feel it, but it'll hurt my hand.
2 points of slap damage. To your hand, not her.
She will be kind of like celebratory. Captain, it was wonderful. It's a shame you missed it.
I'm gonna wait.
The...
Sorry.
Just finally, as I've done that, I'll give everyone celebratory thanks and whatnot. I'll head to my office, and if anyone's even watching, probably not. There'll basically just be this big sigh and like, as like the head just drops as I walk in alone.
I'm waiting outside the captain's office for him to finish his rounds on the ship. I'm literally waiting for him to come back.
Oh, okay.
I've just pictured the captain like Will Smith and Hancock going to the police. Good job! Good job!
There's a throwback. Hancock, wow. Yes. I'll sort of be looking at the floor as I'm approaching my door and see Quarantine's feet. Yes, first mate.
May I have a word with you, Captain?
Sure. Wandering.
You both step into the captain's office. Just a note, Lack, I've sent you a message about something.
Okay, thank you.
So, the two of you enters Zarut's office. It's
Is this bitch in the corner?
no, she's not.
Wow.
She's
Bit rude.
rude.
Orkana.
Orkana is not in here. No,
Okay.
she has been helping in the battle.
I admit I'm concerned about you. Now, I know that technically you are my captain and I am your first mate, but we've known each other a long time, Zarut. So if you want to talk, and I'm here for you.
There's no need to be concerned, Quarantine.
Yes, because everybody's head falls like that after a victory.
There are certainly difficulties, not just physical, but the battle is won. I'm exhausted in all senses. I appreciate the care that you have for me. But it was only 5 minutes ago that this period of my life was ended in the way that it did. I'm just adjusting.
Consider you family. So
Likewise.
please, just remember that, okay?
Tell you what. My dear little sister, sit down. I'll grab a bottle of brandy off a shelf. Let's just relax.
I'm good
And
at
I will openly talk about the history of Zarut and particularly Kaishun and the shenanigans we got up to before it turned to a race to the top of the crime syndicate before the betrayal.
The stories give you an image of two near brothers.
Uh-oh.
That wasn't quick enough.
No,
An
it was
image
only
of
you,
two-
Jay. Everybody else was still moving.
Yeah, it was only you.
Yeah. You get from the stories, you get an image of two near brothers kind of working together through, admittedly, crimes, but you're pirates, and it doesn't bother you. But in the end, you can see why Zarut is so pained by it all. You get a strong sense that that betrayal has lived in his heart for a long time.
I'll just sit there, listen, and drink.
I imagine that goes on for some time, so
Whilst we're on the ship, and the ship is sailing...
non-sexual fade to black scenario.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Kirkham, as you're kind of on the ship, kind of enjoying the rowdiness of a couple of the crew members, or kind of attending to duties on the ship, you hear Kirkham?
Anna is your name, wasn't it?
Orkana.
Orkana. Mr. Orkana, how can I help you?
Well, the captain and Quarantine have set me with a important duty. You see that she's holding one of the fruit you obtained from the mines. We're looking into trying to cultivate these fruits. Branwyn has kind of studied the water that they were growing near, and that seems to be a component, but put it this way, it has been a long time since I have done anything like this, and I need some help with it.
My own initial assessment of them when we're in the caverns was not the best, but I would gladly aid you in whatever way I can.
I had assumed you seem quite in tune with natural magic, and she kind of looks at the staff you're carrying on your back. You do seem to carry a tree with you most of the time.
Indeed.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's like perhaps given time to it, we can make a better assessment between us.
Yes, it would be good. Unfortunately, a lot of my knowledge has been sapped. My memory is only slightly recovering. I spent a couple of 1,000 years in the thrall of a plant, of a flower. It was unfun. You can see the markings on her arm, this vine of rather vivid and sickly yellow flowers. Kind of not a tattoo, but almost a branding. But yes, I was hoping you'd be able to kind of help me and Branwyn. We're going to be checking with the captain about this, obviously, but we're thinking about starting up a little garden in Branwyn's office, as it were. and we would request your assistance in kind of getting it up and running. You seem very in tune with trees and nature of that kind.
Would be delighted to help.
Thank you.
In fact, we may possibly, given the space allowed to us, be able to awaken the tree, my staff, in the garden and see if it can provide any further knowledge to us.
Okay, yes, that would be good. The tree is very impressive. I believe I asked you about it before. It's a branch from one of the great trees, is it not?
It is, yes. I believe when we stopped in that city, I can't remember the name of.
Talhazar.
Talhazar. Thank you, Talhazar. That it was able to converse with the great tree there, and there may have been an exchange of knowledge between the two.
Very possibly. Though she kind of, may I? She's reaching towards it. She kind of looks at it and kind of inspects the berries that grow from it. These crystalline opalescent berries. I never remember a fruit quite like that on the tree.
That is new. When I planted it when we were in the undertow, it merged with the opalescent staff I had been carrying. And these berries have been the result, or at least one of the outward results of that merging.
That's very interesting. The magic of these trees is even stronger than I could have imagined.
I have hopes that it will be stronger still and be able to take on further magics from items we collect.
Possibly. It's certainly impressive. Anyway, thank you for agreeing to that. I'm going to go and check with the captain and discuss the plans and some other things. Thank you, Kirkin.
My pleasure.
And she kind of hurries off to that situation, which we're going to leave. As you kind of continue, Kirkin, you eventually come to your room, or to the bunk that you normally kind of sleep in, and you see a note lying on the bed. It's written in just the most atrocious handwriting you have ever seen. And
So that doesn't narrow it down at all.
And it reads, "We meet tonight, bring food."
Okay.
This is adorable.
It's like a little secret
I will
club.
go to the galley and assemble a picnic basket and consider where on earth what time tonight is and the where is, since that's not specified.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I will just be on the deck of the boat all night, just waiting.
Okay.
Looking sad until someone gets there.
So, with that, is there anything else anyone wishes to do as you start to approach evening? No?
No, I'm
Okay.
just literally enjoying myself being at the helm of the ship again.
So that you helm the ship for a while, sailing out into the seas, slowly heading to Orala's tomb. And as you're all kind of going to rest, many of you see Balkan just kind of sat, kind of looking around inconspicuously on the deck.
No, very conspicuously.
Very.
As conspicuous as a turtle can be.
Yes. As conspicuous as a turtle. The turtle in the room, as it were.
I will just wave from the wheel. Mr. Balkin. Fine
Hi,
night.
I'm busy. I'll talk to
Okay.
you later.
Good luck.
And I'll go back to just staring into the sky.
Alice would have gone to sleep early so he could wake up in time for moonrise.
So, Kirkin and Lack, Where are
Yes.
you guys going?
Well, I'm in the crow's nest, or the fly's nest, looking down. And if and when I see Kirken, I'll just watch what she does.
He
He, it, they.
is you. Krugna's not an it.
So, Kirkin, what are you doing? Are you
Hello.
coming up into the deck of the ship?
If it's after sunset, yes, because tonight after after.
Yeah, it's post sunset. Most people have gone to sleep. The ship's gone into its night running. Alara has since rested and taken over.
Oh no,
helming the
not
ship.
yet, not yet.
No?
Oh,
You're not
I
going
need to
to
watch
bed?
this.
Okay. She kind of looks down, sees that it's Balkan, and kind of like crosses her arms and is watching it as well.
Yeah, I'll just sort of look at her and go, it should be good.
So eventually, Kirk and you come up onto the deck of the ship and see Balkan just kind of sat looking around.
I'll take a seat beside Vulcan.
You're late, but it's okay.
I apologize. I attempted to follow the note as closely as possible.
I mean, it was quite concise.
It was.
Did you bring food?
I'll push the picnic basket a little bit
Is there
closer in
fish?
front of him.
It's a little bit of fish. There's fish, fruit, bread,
Okay.
SeaTac.
So we just need to wait for our third member. I did leave a note. Did you? I take it you got your note.
I did, thank you.
I left a note up in the crow's nest. I mean, it was quite hard to get up there and down again, but I did it.
To be fair,
Okay.
like you would have seen the note being placed,
All
so
right,
you would know who it was that left it.
I will silently drop down behind Balkan. And I'll just say very quietly in his ear, so what do you know?
Oh, you got the note. Don't do that again. That scared me. Can't remember what I wrote to you now.
I copied and pasted it to James
Okay.
specifically.
You wrote, I know what you are. Come meet me and Kirken tonight.
It should be stated that no is spelt N-O,
Yeah.
and what it's N-O-W-O-T-U-R, and tonight is spelt the number 2 night.
Concise.
Exactly.
Accurate.
Yeah. We wanted to make this like a club because I've never been part of a club, and we can all be like creatures. Like, I know you're the rhino.
Do I look like a rhino?
No, but I don't look like an octopus.
Well,
Well,
you're sort of green.
yeah, but I'm not green all the time. Like, you're not a rhino all the time.
Okay.
Good.
So
So-
is this a secret club?
Well, I don't know. I've never had a club before, so I don't know what to do. What should we do? Kirkin, ideas?
Well,
Can I
given
cast
that,
can I cast disguise self and make myself look like a small flying rhino?
I'd say that that's kind of within the realm of possibility. You look kind of like a rhino that's kind of like floating in the air, like a rhino fairy.
But with still with the dragonfly wings.
Yeah, the dragonfly wings as a rhino fairy is effectively what you look like.
Is this what you mean?
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't know you could fly.
Oh yes. I'm a special magic rhino.
Yeah, you are. You're magnificent. You're good as well. Your crocodile's very good. Wasn't as good as mine. Maybe I could teach you to be an octopus. Maybe that's what we could do. We could teach each other how to be different animals.
So tell me, how do I become an octopus?
Like this. I just turned into an octopus.
And I'll cast spell myself again and turn into a miniature flying octopus.
Yeah, little,
Okay.
little octopus fairy.
And then I will stare, like, encouragingly at Kirkin, waiting for her to turn into...
Let's see if Kirkin is capable of turning into the giant octopus. Let's have a look.
Not the giant one, I don't think. I think I can do ordinary size octopus.
You can when you've
let's
seen
look.
two of them. Technically,
Well,
just
you've
seen two of
definitely
them.
seen the giant octopus enough to be able to wild shape to know it. I just want to see what your wild shape, what your maximum CR of wild shape is at the moment.
I want to know if a drunken quarantine stumbles out the captain's quarters, sees three octopuses, and then just decides to polymorph herself.
Oh, don't worry, I'm injecting you into this at some point.
Octopi, thank you.
Actually, it's octopuses.
Octopussies.
Octopodes.
Hang on. Extras.
Would you like to become a flying octopus as well?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will, hold on, let me just try some. Yeah, I can't straight that, so I'll cast Levitate on Vulcan.
Vulcan, you find yourself slightly floating off of the ground. It's a bit weird. You're still able to reach the ground with your tentacles and kind of hold on.
I will
So
sort of do that thing, like propelling myself across the deck.
Now you are a special magic octopus.
I should note, Kirkin, giant octopus, you are able to turn into.
So I can do that now.
Yes,
Also,
your maximum challenge rating is up to 1 now, so you can
in
be
that
giant
case, I will
octopus.
turn into a giant octopus.
Can't
So I now
quite
have
turn
one.
into the special kind of octopus that Vulcan is. He's
Well,
a
in
giant
fairness,
octopus.
He is the head of this club, so he has to be the best.
Yes. Okay. So, Quarantine, you step drunkenly out of the captain's office after having had a long kind of chat about kind of history and about your adventures with Captain Garvey, and you see on the deck of the ship a giant octopus that is floating, kind of dragging itself about the deck. Another giant octopus just kind of sat there, kind of inspecting its tentacles, and what looks all the world like an octopus fairy with dragonfly wings instead of butterfly wings. It's bemusing.
How much have I drunk?
I'll wave to quarantine.
The floating one is waving at you now.
How many tentacles do I see waving at me?
Well, I will also be waving at her.
Make a
Constitution
saving throw for me to see how drunk you are.
Yeah, it's a good 32.
23.
23. Okay. You're
Quarantine
good
can
at,
go anywhere with this.
yeah. You can hold your drink quite well.
Years of practice.
But he seems to be waving like 2 of them at you.
I'm gonna walk over. Who I recognise, obviously, one of them I've seen quite often.
You make a perception check for me.
8.
8. You recognise the floating one is maybe Vulcan, you think? The others you have no clue. Outside of you've seen Kirkin turn into an animal maybe once, but you've seen Kirkin turn into an animal occasionally. But
I'm just gonna shrug, go over to the floating one, give it a hug, and then polymorphs myself into an octopus.
Aldous will just
Vulcan,
turn...
you are now being hugged by a giant octopus. Quarantine walked up, hugged you, and turned into an octopus.
Oh no.
Is that what the challenge rating is for that?
Oh, we're back.
CR1 for giant octopus.
Oh, I don't know what polymorph I think
Polymorph can transform you into a beast of challenge rating equal to your level.
Oh, it's playing this game again, is it? Oh, good.
Oh, well.
Polymorph can turn you into an animal, a beast of your challenge rating equal to your level or lower, I believe.
so. I can go up to 8 then, yeah.
You can go to 8. You can out level the druids, but I think that is a spell that the druids can learn as well.
Yeah.
And prepare.
I'll just do the giant octopus if I can. I'll just make myself a sort of a lady version of Vulcan's octopus.
Risky.
Well, I'm, slightly inebriated, so.
So yeah, for context, Vulcan Quarantine has walked up, hugged you, and then turned into a giant octopus like you.
Yeah. So I will drop my form. Am I still levitating? I take it.
Yes.
I'm just
Still
hovering
kind of
off the
floating.
ground.
It's a little
And I'll-
disconcerting because you can't reach the floor now,
Yeah.
outside of being hugged by Quarantine.
I'll be like, you could be part of the crew as well. How many more of us is there? This is another mystery.
Aldous is just going to turn to Alara and go, you know what? I think I am quite tired. This is too weird even for me. And I'll just hand the wheel across and just walk off.
Yeah. She kind of takes over the wheel, just trying to comprehend what's going on.
I will just go below. Just, nope, not get involved in this.
I'm still
Okay.
like suckered to Vulcan's head.
Okay, you can drop it now. We should wrap up this meeting and decide what we're going to do.
Just going to wrap the tentacles even more around him.
I will drop wild shape.
So, I think this was a success. And I think we should do this. I don't know. What do you think? Every night?
Perhaps not every night.
What, like
I will need to rest.
midday and every night?
Perhaps we could meet with the moon at full moon when it's bright.
I do like the moon. Well, it's our club. Us four creatures, people. I don't know what we are. We have a gift. So, 2 nights when the moon comes up. Shall we have homework? What creature shall we be next that we can work on? Maybe you, Lack, you could tell us one.
I think maybe something not fishy.
Not fishy. Okay. 2 days at the moon, non-fishy. It's been fun, guy. I'm going to bed now. Bye. And I'll just walk off.
Are you allowing Vulcan to leave, Quarantine?
I mean, I'm probably still stuck to his head.
Okay, you kind of walk along and you're trying to get through the doorway, Vulcan, but Quarantine is still stuck to you.
Oh,
Holding
so
on to you.
that's annoying. I would never do that. Alright, you can stop now. I'll just try and walk off.
If an octopus could pout, I will unsucker my stuff.
Okay. Are you staying as octopus form?
No, I'm going to poof out and go to bed.
Okay. So, I
After
will
checking
say,
on Malachi. Probably next to Malachi.
yeah, you come down, you find Mirakai in the hold, kind of asleep. They kind of like nestle against you as you join them. And we'll say that you're not the only one sleeping alone. The captain's quarters have been. There's 2 people in there now, and I'll say that you guys can all get a long rest. As you spend the evening travel. And as you are sailing through the night and approaching Aurala's tomb, I'll say we'll take a quick break there.
Okay.
Just to give us some time to get, Animal Club and all of that out of the system. That was wonderfully silly.
Awesome. Animal Club was just very weird. I loved it. Yeah, we'll be right back after these sponsorship messages that we don't have. That I say every time that we don't have, but in hope that we never have, because capitalism bad. Okay, kids, just don't do it. Just say no. welcome back. We hope you had fun buying things that don't exist. Pirate
Things
Master.
exist.
There are things that do exist.
So, through the night, after Animal Cub adjourns,
But we don't talk about it.
You went
awaken in the morning, kind of feeling fresh, feeling recovered. You're a couple of hours away from Aurala's tomb, so if there's anything you wish to do in the morning, you may as you see fit.
Can I?
Any takers?
Yes.
Um,
All right, you go ahead first.
no,
No,
carry on,
because
'cause
I need to do a message before I do that. So.
Okay, fair enough. I will leave it to a reasonable-ish time, and I will go and knock on the captain's door.
Captain, you hear Eyeless, or you hear someone knocking at the door. Orkana pulls on some clothes to make herself decent.
I'll stick on a little silk dressing gown.
Okay. If you answer the door, you see Eyeless stood there.
He is in his sort of what I would say, he's more ritual robes. So he's got sort of the long Aladdin type trousers on, and he's long sort of like silk coat on that he wears over his armor. No shirt, as usual. But he comes in wrapped in silver satin, and he sort of just lays the little parcel out and unwraps the pistols. I kept these for you. You didn't really seem in a receptive mood yesterday.
Yes.
I was going to keep them. I did see you pick them up, so I didn't mention it. But thank you.
Well, I knew you would want them, and they are yours by right. And
I'll pick the two up and give them the old cowboy twirl.
Kind of twirl them. They seem very interesting. You don't remember Kaishin having these. You know he was a big fan of firearms. He had an old revolver that has since obviously been replaced by these. One of them is this kind of very well-made revolver made of silver with a leather grip. It's quite lightweight, has a kind of skull, various skulls carved across it, with one where the barrel goes through the mouth. And you see the plate on the side, the old name Murder has been scratched through and has been replaced with this kind of shaky carving. Obviously someone's done, like, after the fact, of the word morning. And this is the one being fired that would make that awful noise that the feast warded against for you. The other one feels a lot heavier. It's also made of silver. It's kind of decorated with what looks like this mess of silver coins all across it. And the barrel seems incredibly sturdy. You kind of flick open the chamber and you see 4 bullets still in it, carved from ruby. You may add mourning and greed to your inventory. They're not technically magical, but gameplay purposes they are. They're just very good very good pistols.
Yeah.
And you also have in that pouch, so between the gun and the pouch, you have 14 ruby bullets.
Is that I'll add that as a separate thing. 14 ruby bullets.
It's not a magic item for those, but they're described in greed. So I'll leave it to you if you wish for those to be known amongst the rest of the party. I'm sure some people are snooping, but
So Arlos will turn to leave and he will hesitate for a moment. I am proud of you for your fortitude yesterday.
Thank you, Alice. And I must say, a huge thank you for sticking with me. I know I went off a bit gung-ho, and you stuck with me, and it really made the difference.
He will turn fully and look Zarut in the eye. You are my captain, and I will protect every member of this crew as if they are a member of my own family. You have shown me hospitality, and you have graciously given me a home to allow me to fulfill my purpose to help Mr. Klein. But I will look after all of you for as long as I'm able.
Well, that is good to hear. I didn't need you to say it. I knew it anyway.
It bears saying sometimes, Captain, just to remind you that we are four square behind you, all the way.
This is what makes us such a strong crew, Ilas. Our loyalty and dedication to each other. And that is why you are very welcome aboard this ship.
It's gracious of you, Captain. I will continue to perform my function as the mother demands. But I look forward to our encounter with the Queen of Gold again.
This should be interesting.
Very. But I will leave you to your ablutions, Captain. If you need anything, just call.
Of course. Thank you, Alice.
He will just sweep out onto the deck and take in the air, because he's basically seen moonrise and he's seen the sunrise as well.
So as Ilis leaves, you kind of turn and go to set the pistols somewhere, and you hear another knock at the door.
Turn back round. Open the door.
What does he see, Aldris?
Captain, is it possible I can have a quick word with you? I understand you're very busy. I've just seen Mr. Ilis depart in all his finery. It should only take a moment.
What can I do you for?
Maybe speak in private. Is
O'Connor is still in the room. She's kind of standing up, kind of stretching. Just, I can go if you want me to, Captain.
Just
up to
as
you,
soon as Carla, just wait there. This will only take a moment. I really should separate my office and my bedroom into different rooms.
Get the carpenters in.
Your President Clinton is showing.
There is probably a screen set up to give the bed some privacy from the rest of the office.
You can always
So
get
kind
Klein,
of goes around behind that.
get Klein to come and erect a wall.
So, Mr. Benoit, what can I do you for this morning?
Well, it's like this, and you see Aldris disappear, and that gold elf you saw in the Queen Orala's presence comes out once more. Captain, we don't have much time. There will be danger ahead. You cannot trust Orala. She has imprisoned me in this body, not this one. This is my actual body, for I don't know how many thousand years, and taken away my memories. All because she thinks I betrayed her. And to be honest with you, I may have, but I did it out of trying to save her, trying to save the Empire. I must warn you, you must, I can feel her coming again, you must not trust her. Please, do not trust her. Turn back into Aldrich. Yes, Captain, so we're approaching Orala's tomb, and I was just wondering if I could, before we go to see Queen Orala, we could maybe look for Captain Eastman.
Yeah, yes, of course, Aldris. We should check in on Captain Ishman.
Well, as Orala's champion, it's important that he know what we've done as well. I mean, he may well be already in the audience chamber, but I thought this was
You did
quite
see. I will note you did see the Gold Hearts taking part in the battle.
Yeah.
Ishman was present for the battle at Skywatch.
As we've travelled through the night, of any of the other ships, like the Wax and Wayne and the others that were involved in the battle, sort of come across us?
As you were leaving, you would have seen them kind of like setting sail from Skywatch, but the Elusive Tide is a lot quicker than most of them. Alicea's winds provide quite a benefit to you.
We will certainly check in, Aldris, on
Thank you, Captain.
Captain Ishman.
I will go and prepare a suitable offering for the Queen herself.
Yes. Yes.
If Aldrich leaves, you'll see Balkin outside the captain's office waiting. I'm only joking.
Mr. Morgan, you seem to be anchored to the deck today. Good work.
I'm just wondering. I don't need the captain. Well, I need him. He's good, but I don't need him right now.
The whole floating thing, you've decided to stop that now, have you?
What? I didn't float.
Oh, sorry. Yes, hush, hush.
No, I did.
Was there
I floated all over the deck.
You did, yes. It was quite a spectacle.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Okay.
Once Alderanis / Aldris has left, I will turn back to Orkana and
She's
just...
kind of peeking out from behind the screen and saying,
Did
"All this sounded very strange."
you hear that?
Yes.
Did you see it?
Only for a brief moment. He looked familiar. I couldn't quite tell you where. I'd be careful, Captain.
Aldris is a personality that has emerged from this other creature, Alderanis, or something that...
She seems to flinch at the name Alderanus, but she seems confused as to why.
Orala's done something to him, and he doesn't remember who he really is. He just worships Orala.
And unfortunately, I don't really know.
They warned me not to trust Orala. Difficult going into a meeting with a god, having been warned not to trust her.
I mean, if you want my opinion on the details, I would trust Orala. From what I remember, she was a fair and just queen, but I don't know.
When we last spoke with Orala, Alderanis came out then, and Orala wasn't particularly gracious with him.
That's not good.
And I'm a little worried now.
Be careful, Zarut.
Yes. Yes.
Perhaps Ahanra would be the one to speak with.
Good thought.
You could get hold of her. She
Yes.
seemed to have similar failings in her memory as I, but she wasn't a ghost, so
She's also
Yes.
in here, by the way.
How many voices can we fit into this one head?
There's quite a few.
Yeah.
Chaz is used to that.
Yeah, that is
It's not-
true.
If I recall, PM, I was speaking to some researchers about Aldoralis at some point and told them to message
Yes.
me if there was any more details. So I'm just bringing that up again.
I know. So, unless there's anything else anyone wishes to do, you begin to pull.
Yeah, I think the rest of us want to be outside the captain's.
Yeah, there's a long line waiting outside the captain's office.
I mean, technically, I'd be waiting for Arcana, but I think we're supposed to not know if she's in there for certain.
Yeah, you're looking for Arcana and cannot find her.
Klein-
Terrible.
Klein
Who
would
just
like
wants to
to
take a
actually do
shit?
something.
So, as you kind of sail on, the Elusive Tide begins to sail.
Oh no! Jay's gone again.
Sorry, Fiddy, I spoke over you.
So I was just about to say Klein would like to do something.
Oh, go ahead then, Klein.
Cool. So Klein would start off doing his normal checks on the Elusive Tide, first of all, making sure that all damage has been
Yeah, everything
Prepared.
seems in order.
as much as possible. And then it'd be on the bow of the ship. And we'll just have Trident in one hand and Heart in the other. And
As
Just be-
you're
here we go.
holding it, you can make a perception check. And anyone on the deck who's kind of keeping watch can make perception checks as well.
Sonic, why not?
I don't think that's too bad for me. No,
30, 20.
21.
Very nice. Any other?
Yeah, I got a 20.
20. Okay. So, Klein, as you're kind of like concentrating on this, you feel the trident kind of drift to the point where the Elusive Tide is sailing. And as you kind of open your eyes and look up, you see Aurala's tomb, though something is a little bit different now. And Quarantine and Lack, you both noticed this as well as you're sailing up. That central canal that went through to the large lagoon where Aurala's tomb temple stands seems to have a large gatehouse
Oh,
positioned right at the entrance. A very
Familiar?
familiar looking gatehouse.
ah.
And it looks like the walls either side have kind of crumbled away a little bit, and it's quite jarring. The change in flora between the beaches with the palms and then these coniferous, deep green trees around the gate.
Does the... Yes, it looks familiar. Does it
Mm.
look as in what it's made of? Does it look like it's made of exactly the same stuff as it was in the Undertow?
Yes.
As
it looks
in...
one for one.
Yeah.
One for one.
Is this
Mm.
You
where
would-
we found a Hunra?
Yes. And it's at this point, as you look at it, you realise that the architectural style is very similar to Aurala's tomb and the Aurala's temple and the older elven architecture around there.
As
And
I-
you slowly pull into port and dock.
As a player, can I please not ask that we have some more wibbly wobbly timey wimey campaigns, just one at a time, please?
No, there's no wibbly wobbly timey wiminess. We're not going back or forwards in time. You're just dealing with the mistakes of the past.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. But so with me still on the bow, just going back a little bit, only a few minutes. The trident doesn't seem to pull towards the heart anymore.
No, it doesn't pull towards the heart. It's pointing directly at the temple in the centre of the lagoon.
Okay.
So when I come up on deck after talking to the captain, I see this gateway, and obviously it's very familiar to me. Do I hear a Hunra in my head at all?
You get a sense of presence. You sense.
Uh-oh.
You get a sense that she's just kind of picked up your arrival.
Okay, I will speak in my head. My dear Hunra, I see our queen has kept her promise to find you and rescue you.
Yes, indeed. It is. I don't remember the voice I did for Hunra. It's annoying. It has been quite the experience.
Superb.
You should come to the temple.
I
As murmurations abound.
We are on our way, victorious as we were against the Blue Blades.
It is good to hear. Just be careful what you let slip out of your mind. It's trying again.
Is it? Right. Aldous has no idea what she means. I'll be on my best behaviour, I think.
Okay. You pull into port. There's a little bit of a couple of the dock workers kind of hurry over to kind of come and assist. There's murmurings amongst them of the fact that it was the crew of the Elusive Tide that won the battle at Skywatch. News travels fast, it seems.
Is Captain
You just
Ishman,
get here before us, though.
is Captain
Pardon?
Ishman
Captain?
back at all?
Give me a perception check, Aldous.
Sure. It's probably not great. Oh no, it's not too bad. 15. Sorry.
15. You look out and you can see a ship with golden detailing all across it, the Gold Heart, in port.
I will look over and news may travel fast, but Captain Ishman travels faster.
You can travel light when there's just one of you.
Exactly. Well, two.
Ishman and... Oh.
Oh.
Oh. No. You are in dock at Aurala's tomb. What would you like to do?
I think it's straight to Orala's tomb.
Straight up to the temple. Is everyone going?
Do
Oh,
we need
absolutely.
to... Does
I'll
this
be
give
going
God
where the
vision?
captain goes.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Alice would have emerged on deck and sort of just used a brief burst of magic to draw all of the moonstones back to the attachments on his staff and armour.
Yep. Okay. So, you
Sorry,
make
Misty,
your
I think-
way...
Misty, I think we spoke over you there.
No, sorry, I was only muttering things. It wasn't anything important.
Okay.
Okay. So, you make your ways through the city, kind of making your way up to the main temple. You note that as you kind of head through, the priests kind of almost part directing you to the stairs up and further. You note that Bethsire is not in attendance at the moment. He is gone from his perch. But as you cross the bridges up closer to the temple, you see two creatures, kind of both sat on a pair of pedestals that had been set up, weren't there before, and as I desperately trying to find the two figures. One you would recognise as being a Hamra, which I have new image for. This
Ooh.
glorious sphinx, almost with her feathers dyed blue. And you see another figure sat across from her, a similar sphinx, large wings, but black and silver, with similar ornamentation. It would be safe to assume that this is her lifelong partner, Kanamura. Pro tip, Bing does not know what a sphinx is, but I just ran with it, with them just being fully leonine. I think it's really cool.
They're gorgeous.
Pretty cool.
I am not winning against the fairy allegations. I don't think I ever will. Okay.
Eyeless, knowing that these are sort of very arcane beings and products of the mother, he would sweep forward and just deeply bow to both of them.
The two of them kind of bow their heads to you, and you hear Kanamura's voice. Welcome. The Queen is expecting you. Please, come through.
Hanra, I'm so pleased for you.
Thank you all. Your intervention has allowed me to return to a far better life than being forgotten at the bottom of the sea. And she kind of eyes you for a moment, Aldris, carefully studying your features.
I will grin and bow. Almighty Ahandra,
Come.
it's good to see you.
The two of them kind of jump from their pedestals and lead you inside the temple. You wander through the halls. You're brought through into that chamber with the 4 golden statues, but you're not stopped for another trial by combat.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, I don't think we.
Instead, you are brought straight back to the main chamber where Queen Orala, who I think I've shared this before, but I'll post it again anyway, is stood waiting up on the balcony, looking down at you all.
There we go.
She
just
gold.
in case we'd forgotten.
She gold.
In fact, I think some of you haven't seen her before. I don't know if it was a full party that visited last time.
Possibly. No, we all did. It was just the earlier Bethsaida visit. It was just myself and Clyde.
Pretty sure I said this last time as well, but I'm slightly attracted to her.
Can't blame you. Yourself.
I'll leave you to investigate that for yourself, Fiddy.
I will.
She kind of steeples her hands on the railing, looking down at you all. And she just gives this warm smile.
I will bow deeply.
Thank you, Aldris.
My queen.
Thank you all, crew of the Elusive Tide, who have done a wonderful service in my name. Skywatch may not be my territory truly, but we give respect to the Asamau. It's the least we can give.
They are somewhat golden like you, my lady.
The Bronzeborn are very different to myself. It is a interesting state. They are the same as they were in my heyday. Now, I believe a reward is in order. Is it not?
I mean, I would never say no to a reward.
Indeed. She kind of waves her hand. You see the two sphinxes kind of taking their position either side of the room, just watching the conversation. Ahana is not taking her eyes off of Aldris. I think a good donation to each of you would go well. As you see kind of coins just glide through the air and kind of arrange into small piles as she gives each of you, I have to get this right, 200 platinum coins.
200 platinum. Wow. Okay.
I believe that is at least recompense enough, if not beyond the treasures you have found yourselves. Your donations have been well appreciated.
This is this generous reward.
Now, on to further matters. She kind of turns her attention to Climb. How have things been going, Champion of the Moon?
Hello. I think they went well, and well, as you've donated to us, I think I possibly have something to donate to you. And we'll
Interesting.
go into his bag and pull out the heart.
The heart kind of quivers and lifts into the air. Kind of. She brings it up close to her to inspect. Interesting. So she wasn't lying. Well, it would seem that the Moon Mother is intent on naming you her champion. No doubt you've been told to seek out myself and my kin, divine kin.
Oh, yeah?
She kind of takes the cart into her hands and just crushes it between her grip. Normally,
What do you think of that?
Normally it would be a long trial to see and prove your worth, test your mettle against my divine domain, for me to grant you a boon. However, in what you have done so far in stopping these blue blades I am told of, and in continuing your mission, I am willing to waive that trial.
It wasn't just me, though. It was all of us here, and the rest of the crew, and the elusive toid. So if I must face a trial, I will.
Oh, it is absolutely fine, little moon champion. Hang on.
And with saying that, he will look at Captain Zarut and give him a nod.
Nod back.
Now, all I ask of you, Klein Morrowave, is thus. I, Aurora, am the goddess of treasure and temples. I was charged by Tide Rays to protect the seas. And I ask you this, Klein. In protecting your allies, would you seek to strike down your foes before they can lay a hand? Or would you rather burden their pain, carry the injuries for them so that they may fight fresh? She kind of opens her hand. You see the heart has just been dissolved into this molten gold that just kind of floats in the air.
Just repeat that for me, sorry.
Do you seek, in defending the seas and your allies, do you seek to strike down your foes before they can deal any harm, or would you rather shoulder the burdens and protect your allies from their from your
Are you a
opponent's
lover or a
strikes?
fighter?
Basically it's a question of, do you prefer offense or defense?
Yeah. Red pill or blue pill?
Well,
Yeah.
deja vu.
Well, I'd rather bear the burden so that my fellow mates can help in battle. We work as a
Interesting.
team. We do it as a team, we do it as a crew.
Very interesting. As she kind of then starts to swirl the gold around, floating around her hand until it forms into this solid golden gem. And she then kind of lets it drift down back to you, Klein, and it seems almost magnetically pulled into the socket on the central prong of the trident, fusing with your trident, enhancing it. I've not set it up yet, but basically, your trident, you'll be able to, even when raging, cast what is it called? It was the spell that Kral cast literally
Fireball.
last. No. That was the other two spellcasters.
Explode mountain.
Warding Bond, that's it. You'll be able to use Warding Bond on your
Fifth level
allies,
genocide.
even whilst raging. Exactly.
Cool.
But I'll set that up on the Morrow Trident for you.
Do it on the morrow.
With
I
that
like that.
business, I think perhaps, given the goings on, at least some answers would be due. The enemies you're facing. Ahanra has told me that the Undertow is infested. Long ago, well, as you may all know, I have not always been a goddess. I once ruled over a magnificent empire, even if I do say so myself. One of gold and one of prospering civilization. One of the first. She seems quite inherently proud of that fact. But it came to an end. The monsters that you are facing these days.
As she says, it came to an end. Alderanis steps forward just sort of pulls himself out of Aldris. Yes, dear Queen, it came to an end, didn't it? And why did it come to an end? Why did you imprison me in this? Because you had the hubris. You brought it to an end. I counselled you well. I counselled you against your decisions. But still, you went ahead. So tell these people the truth of what actually happened.
As those monsters tore through my city, warping the minds of my people, Tide Rays reached out to us, and I accepted his offer to sink the Empire beneath the waves.
I advised against this. At that time, I
Of
called
course
you
you
my
would
queen.
have. Of course you would have, Alderanis, for you didn't wish for it all to end.
Well, of course not. We could have avoided it if you'd made the right choices. But you always were soft.
You're not wanted here anymore.
No, I'm
Alderanis.
never wanted, am I? You've never wanted me. But who was it that built the gold? Who was it that collected the gold? Who did so much to enrich you?
Who was it that stole it at the very end?
Steal?
You're not wanted here,
Protect.
Alderanis. Leave!
Protect.
And at that moment, the entire chamber just shakes and flashes. Can all of you make perception checks except for Aldris for me, please?
What about Alderanis?
Yeah.
Nope,
What-
I'm
Uh-oh.
blinded by the light.
My passive is 26 now. Just saying.
22 for me.
There's some really bad rolls happening, I can see. Dear
21
Okay.
to me.
Vulcan.
13.
21.
Okay. Zarut.
10.
Quarantine.
7.
Eyeless.
23.
Kirkin.
9.
Klein.
13.
And Lack.
22.
You're all blinded by this flash of light before you kind of come to. Alderanis is gone, and Aldris is kind of sitting there in a bit of a daze. You see Ohana kind of staring intently, kind of quickly flash her eyes over to Orala as things settle. I'm sorry. The pain and mistakes of the past still haunt me even this many thousands of years later.
I apologise, my queen. I seem to have fallen over. I feel fairly weak. If you'll excuse me, I'll just get up and if I could lean on you, Mr. Klein, perhaps.
I'm sort of
Certainly.
new to support Aldris and help him to his feet.
Just want to whisper into Kirkin's ear. He can change shape too.
I'm not going to reply. Kirkin doesn't have a quiet mode.
Your Majesty, what have you done with Alderanis?
Alderanis was punished. I could put all of the blame on him, but that would be untrue. Some of it does lie at my feet. But I wanted to give him another chance. Hence, Ulrich.
A valued member of my crew. I just worry for the other part of him that is trapped in there.
Alderanis was a valued member of my council for quite some time, until the very end, as tide rays sunk my empire. I put the blame at his feet, but it has been so long, I struggle even to remember myself. And I have not had to spend years in the undertow forgetting everything. She seems like anyone who wants to kind of try and anyone who wants the joy of insight checking a god may, if you
I was
wish.
about to unmute myself and just ask, how sincere or honest does she seem?
First decent roll of the night.
Good work.
I want to do something slightly different and message Ahanra to ask how true this is.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna send that to you privately, Quarantine.
I also want to ask a question, if I may.
Certainly.
Is the repeated mention of Alderanis kicking anything up in my head?
You can feel a resentment, something trying to, like a beast lashing out at its cage inside you, but
Okay.
slowly subsiding,
I will
disappearing in the light of the gold inside you.
ask in my head, Andra, what is going on? I don't feel very well.
It is okay for now, Aldris. Just rest and let Ilis know if you are injured.
Yes, I think so. Anybody who looks, just Aldris is just even more confused than he normally looks. He looks utterly bewildered as to where he is, what's going on, and who everybody is.
And just... Oh, sorry, go on, Alice.
Go on.
No, go on. You go first, trust me.
Yeah, so Eyeless will sort of have his shields on his back, and he sort of just leaves the staff, and he kind of just stands as it normally does. And he's got one hand, he's got Aldrich's left hand in his left hand, and his sort of right hand is on the small of Aldrich's back, just holding him in place and holding him steady.
You'll feel that Aldris is literally just sort of swaying. Aldris doesn't weigh very much. Well,
yeah,
his belt weighs quite a lot, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
So he's just sort of...
Got one on the left, one on the right, one in the middle to keep it balanced.
Yeah, I was just sort of swaying slightly. And looks vacant.
When, a few moments ago, when there was that bright flash of light that blinded us all, did any of us see Manfred Mann? Sorry, it's been in my head for about 5 minutes.
Okay. What were those? Who was doing those insight checks? Ilis,
I
Klein,
did,
Kirkham,
but I didn't do well.
Zurich. What did you get, Zurich?
11.
Just solemn on her face. Kirkham?
25.
25. Ilis?
Natural 20 for 28.
28. And Klein?
16.
No. She's solemn. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
Kirkham and Ilis, both of you kind of have more nurturing natures. And you just see almost, for that brief moment, Queen Aurora just has a look of someone who's undergone heartbreak on her face.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability, sadness and grief, regret, all of these not turbulent but kind of cloying emotions that hold someone down sometimes. As she kind of steadies herself, you see Kanamura kind of stand and look up to the Queen, just checking, and she kind of motions for Kanamura to stand down before returning to address you. Oh. I'm sorry. That was... I still need to work on, despite these thousands of years, work through everything that has happened. But to more important and pressing matters, your trial here is done. Climb Morrowave. You must seek out the two that I call brothers. They're not truly, but seek Khan, seek Markaz. They will be the ones to speak with next. And beware those leeches. It's just as much that the one small leech can beguile the mind of a human, an elf, a tiefling. But the larger the leech, the larger the creature can beguile. I would not be surprised if they could infest a god again.
My lady, do you know much about the cult and Lord Kingston?
This is a name I have only heard in memorations from Khan's followers, unfortunately. The cult is one that exists, regrettably. One that we have yet to be able to stop.
Apologies, my queen. You said one of these leeches could infect a god again. Meaning that one had infected a god before.
She just nods.
That's interesting news, wouldn't you say, Captain?
This quick anything for Ilis having encountered the cult?
Make a history or a religion check for me, Ilis.
Well, it's both the same, by the way. 13.
13. There's something in the back of your mind that you're thinking of, but you just can't quite place it.
Yeah, cool. I, as a player, know, but well, I think I do.
Bit of a random thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is out of... Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've not seen much of... We haven't seen Lord Kingston yet, have we?
No. You've seen him in passing a couple of times. Cases where, like, I think you passed he was running ships that were guarding a merchant, and there was a case where you think you might have seen him on the warships that were attacking you when you had to flee into the Undertow.
But in those brief encounters, he never appeared like somebody who was possibly leeched or anything like that I would remember.
You wouldn't have been able to tell from that distance.
Thank you, and thank you for your gift. I will use it wisely.
Indeed. Thank you for your service to my reach of these waters. but go. And if you have further questions of what may be plaguing us, for I do not know the answers, I simply maintain the walls that keep them out. And she kind of looks down at you, Eyeless. If you have more questions, ask Khan, ask Marquez. They will know more. She kind of nods solemnly, pauses for a moment in case there are any other questions.
I would like just to come back to a point about Aldris. I'm sorry, I don't. I just worry there is this person, a separate person to Aldris, trapped in there. Could it not be in your power to release him and allow both to live separate lives, mortal lives?
He's not trapped in there.
So she's right, Cat. I don't have anybody trapped in me, I don't think.
Pipe down, Aldris. No one's talking to you.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We're just talking about you, Aldris. Be quiet.
That was not said, really.
Yeah.
How so, Your Majesty? It seems... It has appeared that way to me, at least.
It is difficult. I'm just trying to think of a way to do this without being completely spoiler. Like, I want to save some mystery.
Is it her ex-husband?
No.
Ooh.
Or her son.
As I said, sorry, I'm just responding to a message
Yeah, that's
because
fine.
yeah.
Honestly, Captain, I'm perfectly fine. There's nothing in me. I just felt a little weak there. I was obviously overawed by the presence of Her Majesty.
Or she were Aldris.
Yes.
It is difficult to put into words how I feel. I have locked away those memories for so long. But I am responsible for the creation of Aldris, at least.
And I thank you for that, my queen.
And he and Alderanis share certain characteristics. I can only hope that his actual prison remains unbroken.
There's another sort of shimmer of gold skin just to sort of flash really quickly. Possibly only Eyeless notices. Just sort of...
Yeah. As that happens,
tries to
Eyeless, you see a
pop
sudden
through
shimmer of blue magic just kind of suppress it. You look over, you see Ahana kind of concentrating on the situation.
Yeah. Iris's pupils are entirely silver at this point, and he'll just look up at at Orala. My lady, you have been through much. Perhaps you should speak with your mother.
Perhaps I should.
Well, we appreciate the time and the gifts given. Your
Indeed.
Majesty, we will...
And I apologize sincerely for bringing about my own grief upon this meeting. It is not for mortals to be worrying over my problems. As I say, seek either north or south, Khan or Marquez, and they will likely take you through the next steps of your adventure, your journey. That which you need to find.
In your opinion, who is more in need of assistance immediately, Khan or Marquez?
She closes her eyes and kind of breathes in deeply.
I'm just going to message the captain with what I got from Ahana. Just
I
letting
use
you
casting
know.
message to kind of
Yeah.
spread it on. Okay, cool.
Okay. Message incoming. Okay.
The decision is yours. All I say is that the tales I hear from the north are of war, of conflict. The tales I hear from the south are few, but speak of grief. Your fate is your own, all of you. I am merely a step for you to continue traveling. And I will remain with you through Aldris, through Alcir.
Aldris bows deeply once more. Captain, I would give you recommendations to go north.
That seems to be the
There is
better trajectory, I agree.
always profit to be made from war, unfortunately. But as the great Queen Orala
About that.
does indeed.
Is Marquez north?
Marquez is south.
Okay.
Khan is north.
Okay, that's good. That's where I wanted to go anyway.
I would hate to sow discord, but I would cancel south. We cannot afford Marquez to become a pawn of the cult.
Well, we should continue this discussion back on the ship, and we should leave Orala in peace.
Indeed. Thank you once again for what you have done on this day, Captain and crew.
Thank you
You're
for
always
your
welcome.
blessings before and after.
You're always welcome within my city. And she kind of bows as Ahana and Kanamura kind of hop down to then start leading you back out of the temple.
Question for the money side. The 200 platinum, was that just to the 8 of us?
Yes, individually. So
And
it's 200 each.
Well, I just wondering about the rest of the crew.
It was 200 each to you, the 8 of you.
And that works out to be 20,000 gold?
It's
2,000.
I know.
It's yeah, that's why I had to count it carefully. It's like, am I giving them too much here?
We also have that massive boulder of gold to sell.
You do have quite a few things to sell, which we can.
We've got to fight Aldris to, let go of it.
Listen,
So, and just a question. As we're talking about that, just a question that can we put that as gold into the inventory, or does it have to be the platinum as that's how it's presented?
You put it in as platinum into your inventory.
It should give you a total
if you're
of
taking
gold you have.
It will total your gold for you.
Yeah,
there should be.
It did for me.
Mine has come up with its own separate platinum and gold what I already had.
Yeah, but if you click on it, it says total in GP at the top.
Oh right, yeah. So yeah, okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah. Gives you a further 2,000. So yes, you're led out of the temple with probably more questions than you had going in.
Absolutely not.
And are left to do what you wish around the city of Orala's Doom. It was one of those cases where I wanted to give more exposition, but knew I couldn't give away too many
No,
things.
that's fine. That's perfectly cool.
I want all the answers.
Well, yeah,
I
you
want to
all
give
the
them.
answers, but you're
Wasn't
muted.
Marquez?
You're muted, Miss D. I can see you
Wasn't
talking.
Marquez and Khan one of them dealing with a cult and one of them dealing with Kingston in theory? Is that
Yes.
how it went?
So
Yeah,
Seems to be the case.
Carney's dealing with Kingston, Marquez is dealing with the cult.
Then I definitely want to go north.
I
I'm
will
on
say in
Ireland's side.
TFJ, with the amount of
Mhm.
exposition that you've given us, we get to engage in conspiracy beard.
Yes,
Conspiracy
absolutely.
bed.
Are we? So, genuine question here: are we continuing now, or is that where we're stopping? Pick up again?
We can do anything else you wish to do. If you wish to sell treasure, that is an option. But otherwise, we will be finishing relatively soon, I think.
Gosh.
All I really need to know is where you're heading after this.
Well, Captain, my recommendation still stands. There is much gold to be had in times of war.
It is not necessarily about. Ooh. I was about to say it's not necessarily about the gold.
No, don't, Captain, please.
Who am I? Who am I?
Don't say those things. You're upsetting me.
As
I
you're
don't feel
walking
that.
out of Aurella's temple, it's like you're trying to get struck by lightning.
The priests may hear us. Please stop. You're ruining my reputation.
I mean, I have my own
Inspiration
preference
for that one, Aldris.
Oh,
for my own.
You're ruining my reputation by talking about it's not all about the gold. The treasures of the friends we made along the way? No, it's
the
fucking
treasure
gold.
is the
Give
fucking
me my treasure.
It is a
Oh,
quantifiable
what's that?
account.
It's a frame from Moon Knight. It's like Dracula, you nerd. Where's my fucking money?
yeah.
Something like that. So,
I
is there
mean,
anything you wish to do?
Captain, my vote would be north, and I think you know why.
You see, even Miss Quarantine agrees with me, which is not
I,
happening very often.
For different reasons, but yes, in this case, I am on your side.
I agree with Eilus, Captain. Where there's grief, there could be more trouble, the cultists and everything. Plus, if we get an easy win on our side, we can be stronger going forward.
Neither
Towards
of
the
these will be easy wins. But I counsel that we cannot afford a god to be taken over by one of the Devourers.
That
You
is
imagine
also a
a
very good
being-
point.
You imagine a being as powerful as Aurala on their side.
I mean, Mr. Iris
Quarantine,
makes a point.
Quarantine, I'm sorry. I think we need to wait on Kingston. Dealing with the cult is a time-sensitive matter. We don't get me wrong. We will get that bastard. We will get him. But for now, I think the sensible play is to go after the cult.
As you say, Captain. And I'm just going to stride off ahead of everybody else.
This goes without saying. I will not allow any of you to be taken by them.
Alice, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Wisdom save. Oh god, 18.
18. Okay. You swear for a brief moment you feel something whispering into your ear from on your back. The whispers of the sword, trying to sneak through the golden casement,
Everyone around
but
him.
they fade very quickly.
Everyone around him would just see his eyes begin to blaze silver, and he would turn in a very sort of deep but also melodic voice. Why you?
Are you okay, Mr. Hyers? You assisted
Yes.
me back in the tomb. Please allow any assistance I can give.
Aldris introducing me to your queen is all the assistance I needed.
Well, of
She
course
is-
she is, marvellous.
She has helped lighten my burden.
That's always a good thing. But if anything does strike you as Aldris could help with this, please let me know.
Of course.
I can see why quarantine would be upset, Captain, but I think the decision was made correctly. Like, a god being involved, not on our side, would wage everything against us.
Oh, I know it was the right decision. It doesn't mean I can't feel for quarantine.
No, definitely not. Hence why I was just lending some solemn advice or talk to you.
And of course,
Oh, that feels weird.
a lot of cults do hoard money at the top normally. So if we find the top of the cult, there may well be some bankroll in it as well.
We may well find Kaishun's hidden stash. No doubt he's got one somewhere.
Indeed.
You found it.
Did we?
Salazar, Blue Blade Space.
Oh, we already robbed him. I don't want to.
You want to rob him again?
He wants to rob him again. That's fair
Let's
enough.
revive him and let's set him free, then rob him again.
That's a little difficult. We don't have
It's
a
going to
head.
be a bit difficult without his head.
Oh yeah.
So we robbed the Blue Blades base. We robbed the Blue Blades other base. Maybe the treasury's in the other base.
You have to
We
find
can
all of them. There's the flavor
More
text
bases,
on one
more
of
money.
the flavor text on one of the pistols is like a criminal empire that spanned the entirety of Fralakmir. Blue Blades had grown very big under his command. So, is there anything else anyone wishes to do?
What I wanted to do was get enough crystals to create another, or gems to create another hand crossbow. Because what's her name? Janice or whatever her name is on the boat.
Janine.
I'm getting it wrong, don't I?
Janice!
Was going to create one for me, but I need to get enough crystals of a different type. So I can't remember what types do what apart from poison and necrotic, which I've already got.
Well, rubies are associated with fire, sapphires with cold, emerald with poison, as you know, amethyst with lightning, opal with radiant, and onyx with necrotic when it comes to weapons.
I think I'll go for lightning this time, so amethyst.
Lightning.
Well, it depends.
Something amethyst.
We've got any crystals?
Please get your own thing. God.
Sorry, have we got any gems?
The woman who turned herself
That
into an
was
octopus.
one thing I was going to suggest, that we organise the books and allow the captain to do the payday.
Mhm.
If you,
Yeah.
if you wish, because I believe you do have some treasure to sell.
Yeah. What do we have to sell?
I would assume that
An enormous
your
ball
treasure
of
keeper has
gold.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have 2 rings of resistances, one of acid, one of fire. There's a woodcutter's axe we've still got. Don't know if I had another list somewhere else.
We've got 3 sets of chainmail. We've got 3 short swords, a bunch of javelins, 3 shields.
Can we stick just for brevity's sake, get a complete list to the PM and just get a single number for that?
Yep, absolutely. If we can build up a list, I can sort out how much you'd get, and we can sort that out perfectly fine. I'm just trying to find.
Aldris will begrudgingly allow the sale of the ball of gold, as long as we donate some of it to the temple.
Here we go. From lumber camp onward,
It's a
Got
golder.
we got the immovable rod, gauntlets of flaming fury, a vial of potion, a vial which is a potion of water breathing, a wooden shard which is the weird polymorphy thingamabob.
Here we go. I found from the encounter just before Menzenor, the ship battle. So I'll be able to go through the list of treasure, and you'll be able
3
to
short
mark,
swords, 3 shields, 3 chainmail, 6 javelins.
be able
There's
to
an
mark
echo.
them down as I read through. So from the submarine, that was 60 gold and 8 obsidian gems worth 10 gold pieces each. And a cloak of the manta ray. From the ship that you sank, there was 2,000 gold, a jewelry box full of fine jewelry worth 700 gold pieces. Let me start writing this down so I can tally. Need a spare page. Oh my god, I've got so much crap in this set. We've got
I know this is
60
very much
gold,
not the point at the moment,
8 by 10.
but I went to a comedy gig last year. Foil Arms and Hogs. It's a trio of lads, and there's some point where 2 of them disappear off stage for a costume change, and it's strongly implied that the third guy is going to entertain the audience while we're waiting, and like he has this folder in his hands and he steps up the edge of stage. He's looking at people as they scream things at him. And after 5 minutes, it dawns on people this is the entertainment. It's not him entertaining us; it's us entertaining him during the wait.
Nice.
Okay, so 60 gold pieces, 8 obsidian gems, 10 gold each. Cloak of the Manta Ray,
That's
2,000
mine.
gold pieces. Fine jewelry, 750 gold. Sending stones, which seem to have gotten forgotten in the swash. Here we go. Potion of water breathing. Oh no, hang on. No, I've skipped a bit here. Hang on.
I've got a 400 gold in a locked drawer. That was with papers signed by Ingrid Diamond Braid.
Yes, we'll get to those in just a moment. So you've got the woodcutter's axe that you got out of the Devilsaurus, and 4 energized sulfur shards. Yes. Then in the mine, the first layer of the mine, you got 1 more energized sulfur shard, potion of water breathing, an immovable rod with the command words yes and no,
Yes.
2 small mirrors worth 25 gold each, 2 small golden bracelets also worth 25 gold each, a figurine of a dinosaur made from scrap metal that would be valued at 50 gold, the gauntlets of flaming fury,
I don't know if that'd be something Klein would want.
I believe they are attunement, the big gold gem. Does anyone want to take a guess at how much the big gold gem is worth?
It's not the big gold gem. It's the golder.
The gold.
All of Aldris's tears.
All of Aldris's tears. Any advances on all of Aldris's tears on the estimate of how much the
50,000
golder is
gold.
worth?
600.
Ding ding ding. Bot on that. 50,000.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Before
Yeah,
you-
50,000
sorry.
gold I can get it.
Before we carry on from the golder, question here, which I
Mm,
was going to ask. Attunement wise,
yeah.
so each of them obviously have that you need to attune to them. Timing wise for attunement, so because my brain
You can
goes as
attune and
Klein.
unattune on a short rest, effectively.
Okay,
hour.
so my
An
my
hour.
brain goes to as Klein and as me as a player. Some of those attunement items could suit the crew and us, depending on
Yes.
what we're going into.
You can absolutely give the crew these magic items. They will use them, and that will add to their abilities. I believe Gabby has boots of levitation in her inventory for her to use.
My sister, the +1 plate armor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a cloak of protection because I haven't got a spare attunement slot, so I don't know if anybody else wants that. If they've got a spare attunement slot, otherwise it can go to a member of crew.
I've got 3 attunement slots in use, and I've just picked up 2 more things that require attunement.
See, you all need to get on my mode of magical items, in which I'm just merging them so I can keep collecting more stuff.
Well, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Apparently, I wasn't allowed a cloak on top of a cloak. I did try.
But yeah, but like, say for instance, if there is a ring of fire resistance, it would be worth keeping hold of that, because if you can quickly change it out for something else, if we're
You've
going
got
into lava.
Fire and an acid one.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Can I have the immovable rod, please, Captain?
Yeah.
Tart.
So, continuing through the list,
Shenanigans.
you've got the wooden shard that turns Quarantine into a cat. Brief moment. I believe you've got 2 Nectarmelons left, which are in Branwyn and Orkana's purview at the moment. And a necklace of large teeth decorated with gold that would be valued at 2,500 gold.
We're rich
That's
bitches.
that layer, and then
So
more
is the
in
captain not telling the crew about the 200 platinum we got each?
here.
That was our direct reward for doing what she asked us to do, which was killing Kaishun. We did that, not the crew.
True.
Yeah, that was Orala's bidding. That wasn't,
Mhm.
you know.
Loot.
Good business.
Yeah. I do have notes. I don't have any notes about the lockbox in Ingrid's room, unfortunately. Oh, no, here it is. Yep, lock drawer. That's another 400 gold in that one. And then
This is
on
why I have
to
notes.
Ingrid battle. Ring of acid resistance.
Yeah, that's in my inventory at the minute. Plate armor that Mysis has.
So,
+1.
The
We got-
holding brazier of sulphurous coals, which we're
Yeah.
keeping.
But from that battle as well, we also got 280 gold and 30 platinum.
I thought it was 20 platinum. That's what I got written down. But
30 platinum.
okay.
Yeah. 280 gold, 30 platinum, which I'm just going to write as 300 gold. Well, do you want them in platinum, Captain?
I'd rather a single denomination. Just
We can melt it into the gold. It's easier. Yes.
And if I may add as well, I still have 6 sea serpent scales.
And then we have Sneeze Snake. Then we've got Greed and Morning.
so before we hear the total, I'm just going to suggest that we have the campaign break, and when we all can't remember anything when we pick it up again, the in-character reason will be we just went on a month-long continuous bender for the amount of
Yes,
gold.
I'm basically going to have you guys pausing as you're kind of going to a tavern to celebrate for the evening. As I am adding up all of these.
Are we
We're
going?
not selling all of them though. I don't think the captain's going to let go of Greed and Morning anytime soon.
I'm just totaling up the treasure items and the loose gold that you've got for now.
Mhm.
This will make a big change.
That's quite an easy
50,000.
in to talk about magic items, isn't it? When we're back, just to ease back in.
Yeah, and it gives me time to kind of organise my shops a little bit. That's okay. I have a total of the sellable treasure in loose gold. Are there any magic items you wish to sell? Sell.
can you just? I know you've kind of just been through it, but can you just read
Just
out
go through the magic items you've got?
and the cost, so I can detail it, and then we can sort out what we're keeping.
Okay. So this will take a little bit of jockeying if I try to find.
This
my
is what
reference
Zarut
for
does in his
this.
office, really. He's not, with his thing. He's doing Excel spreadsheets all the time.
Oh, I
He's got his
swear I wrote
abacus
it down
out.
somewhere. Ah,
Yeah.
here it is.
The life of a captain.
Well, if we
Right.
just get the gold value for now, and then we can always sort out magic items next time.
Well, it's a case of just sorting this out.
If we
Hang
just
on.
say keep, sell, if, as you
Yeah.
read them out, then
And I can basically give a rough estimate for their price. So, Cloak of the Manta Ray, I believe, was keeping.
That's mine.
Keep,
Quarantine
sell.
claimed that.
This is Balkan. Keep, sell.
Sending stones.
I think we
Keep.
should
Keep,
keep
sell.
those.
Yeah.
They're an uncommon item that would probably sell for probably around 500 gold.
What's the value of the cloak, the manta ray? I've got to put everything in the sheet.
Cloak of the Manta Ray is also an uncommon item. You'd probably be looking at about 500 gold for that as well.
And the stones.
The stones probably similar, about 500. You've got the woodcutter's axe, which is
Well,
a great axe. It is rare.
It is rare, yeah.
You
It's either going to
probably-
be me or Kirkin or Balkin, and realistically, I got my trident.
Again, don't forget that you have crew.
Yep.
It could possibly sell for, given the kind of use of it, probably about 2,500 for that.
But the thing is, I don't know who else might use it apart from Proshka, and Proshka's already got a magic item weapon.
Yeah.
Could always see if Brushka's willing to trade.
Just because they're NPCs doesn't mean they don't have a say in it, guys. Come on.
I have to find my homebrew creations for a couple of these. Give me a moment.
Like I hadn't been overthinking D&D enough already. Thanks, Viddy.
Sorry, Misty.
There's been many plus weapons that have just vanished into the money pot. So the energized sulfur shards, you'd probably be able to sell those at 100 gold each.
But we're keeping those
So-
for the brazier though, because they will activate that.
Yes, they can be used on the brazier. But you've
We
got
got-
500 golds worth of those. Potion of water breathing.
sell.
That's not bad about being on the seas where some of us can't breathe
That's an
underwater.
uncommon one. It's a potion. You're probably looking at about down a rank on those. You're probably looking about, they're in high demand, about 150 gold for that. So the gauntlets of flaming fury,
We could
they
always
are a
give the
rare item.
Yeah, we could always give the axe to Branwyn.
You'd be looking at about in terms of, hang on, let me get the crew up as well. Diesel. What a way to finish out and the pause of the campaign doing admin. In terms of using the axe, Proshka, Witless, Proshka and Witless really would be the ideal to use
Well, maybe we give
The
it to
most-
Wit then, since Proshka's already got a magic weapon.
Yep, he currently uses a maul, which is a heavy two-handed weapon. So, but
Captain's rule.
the wood shard wouldn't sell.
What was the value of the gauntlets?
The gauntlets, possibly 4,000 for those. They're quite rare and they're quite effective.
The woodcutters
Okay.
actually said was 2.5 grand, wasn't it?
That was the axe, yeah. Got that.
Yeah, because that's a rare one. God forbid you ever sell a very rare weapon, I'm in trouble. A very rare item, I'm in trouble then.
I don't know.
all our money we split 25 ways. So it sounds like a lot as a single number.
There's a cloak of protection, but nobody here wants. So if you want to give it to a member of the crew as well, Martin.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
good.
put that on the end of the list just to go through.
Have you picked up the woodcut's axe and the cloak of protection? Because I've still got them in my inventory at the minute.
I've added them to this list. We can distribute them to the crew once we've organised everything.
Okay.
That's
So
beautiful, Dan.
Woodshard wouldn't sell. I assume you're not selling the nectar melons?
No. Fuck no.
The Ring of Acid Resistance.
I would say sell, personally.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the chance that we'll come across another acid-built mine?
Oh, now you've said it.
Don't tempt me.
Well,
so that
we do have
would...
to go back in to get another golder. So, you know.
That's true. And
The Ring
Kaishun's
of
like
Acid Resistance would sell
in
for
there.
about 1,500 gold.
Okay.
Plus one plate has been given to
Mysis.
already.
That's right, just go take it back off her and sell it.
You don't even get
I'm
more chance to
kidding.
get it. You just sell her as well.
Yeah.
The brazier of sulphurous coals. Brazier of sulphurous coals. I don't know why I've got the old test name written down for it. Brazier of conjuring sulphur elementals. That you'd probably be able to sell for probably about 7,000 gold.
Oh my.
Especially if you're getting these appraised by, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but the owl, who's taken over Naranos.
The benefit of that, though, 8 ways.
I mean, does it?
Carlotta,
Sure.
is her name. Then Greed and Mourning, I assume, are not on the sell pile.
Correct.
But we need to know how much they are so they can take them out of the captain's share, because, you know, that's what's happening, isn't it? And
I'm interested in the-
technically, I swapped a cloak for another cloak. Just saying.
Yeah,
I'm interested in the value though. If you
No, I think magic items, we don't do that, do we? If someone can use them, they just have them.
Yeah.
Like that ring I gave and the captain took, the ring of protection.
the captain's an even realer pirate now. He has a brace of pistols.
Bang, bang, bang. Easily.
And a third
Yeah,
top
they'd both
down is-
sell for about... Mourning would sell for about 2,500. Greed would sell for about 3,000.
Isn't it more a case of the captain stands there like this and then he's got a mage hand with the third one over his shoulder?
No, it's not a mage hand, it's
The
tentacles.
third one's being wielded by Poe.
Or tentacles to really use both.
Tentacles would be better.
Yes,
One for the captain, one for
absolutely.
Poe, and one for the tentacles.
And
Yeah,
the Cloak of Protection would possibly sell for about 400. Right. Just going to go through. Make
There
sure
is a
everyone
ring of
is-
fire resistance as well. We keeping that one.
I hadn't written that one down. Where did you get
I've had
from?
that a while, I think.
Okay.
It's just
Something
some
like
things
that.
I just add to my inventory so I don't forget about them.
Something like that in my
That
brain.
would sell for the
I think.
same as the Ring of Acid Resistance, about 1,500.
good, yeah.
We could
We-
sell it. It could come in handy if it's only going to take an hour to attune to it.
Up to you, Captain.
So,
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Oh, apart from if you want to add the 6 sea serpent scales that I've got, if worth anything, because obviously I've made a shield out of one of them. I don't think I'll be doing it again.
Yeah, they, as raw material, could probably be sold at... There's 6 of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Sea snake, scales probably sell at about 200 gold a pop. So you're looking at 1,200 for the lot of those if you wanted.
Okay.
So, what is happening with the magic items then? I have the crew list up to add to their inventories.
I do. So this is what I've got so far. If you can read that, hopefully.
Yep.
74,000.
That's the total of everything if we sell it all.
Okay.
So the cloak we're gonna keep.
Mhm.
You want that, Quarantine?
I'm already wearing it.
It's being
Already
kept.
It's a keep.
Okay.
Sending stones
Stones.
keep
I think we
could
keep
be
them.
worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep stones.
Okay, sending stones are being kept. The
I'd
woodcutter's
laugh if we just
axe.
keep everything. Just
That'd be so funny.
Well, it was talked about the woodcutter's axe going to one of the crew.
Well, yeah, it was either Wit or Proshka.
Wit or Proshka.
Yeah.
Give it to Witless then, because Proshka's got magic weapons.
Yeah. Is it going to Witless?
Yeah.
Captain's decision.
Captain's final decision. It would sell for 2,500.
Yeah, that's what it says on the spreadsheet.
We can see it right there.
You've been writing these down. I've got my own little notepad down here.
Yeah, but mine, if I write sell in this column, then it adds it. Oh,
No, it doesn't.
In theory.
So, woodcutter's axe is being kept and going to Witless.
I believe so.
There we go. That's better.
fixed it.
Schoolboy error.
Woodcutter's axe. What's the rarity of that? That's
There are a couple of other things I
Rare.
also have from a long time ago, so I'm just going to mention them now. There's a potion of flying and a necklace of adaptation.
yes. The necklace of adaptation got added to the ship inventory, I believe. Ooh, potion of flying would sell for about 4,000 gold.
Cool.
Potion of flying 4,000. Okay.
Yeah, it's very rare. And I'm going off. I've got a nice little cheat sheet here that tells me the rough estimate of price for a magic item.
And necklace?
So the
Necklace of
necklace
adaptation
means you can breathe normally in any environment and you have advantage on saving throws against harmful gases and vapours, such as
That would've
cloud
been handy in
kills,
the caves.
thinking cloud, etc.
would have been really handy against, say, I don't know, sulfur elementals with cloud
Employ
poisons around them.
inhaled poisons and the breath weapons of some dragons.
Yeah. Imagine we'd had that in the cave.
Mm.
I would sell, potentially.
That is worth a
Requires
tidy
achievement.
500.
Not much.
If we go up to
Okay.
down the game.
Have we got anything worth 750? Because I really want to round that number up.
Possibly build it from the ones you've got. I don't think so. It's going to be
Right.
really frustrating.
Are we going to sell the gauntlets?
So
So
there
you're
are
selling the potion of water breathing then?
Yeah.
so the
Right,
gauntlets
you're
for
not
me
selling
would either go
those.
to Proshka, and that's about it for being hands-on. Which I
They
think,
are useful for any melee,
yeah.
I believe. Let me get them up.
I mean, I'm on board with that, giving them to
Bonus action, use them to envelop 1 or 2 melee weapons in your grasp, and each weapon deals an additional 1d6 fire damage on hit. So useful for any melee-focused character, which would be Kent, Alara, Proshka, the twins, Witless, and Gabby. They are attunement.
All right. Okay.
So yeah.
But they're worth 4,000.
Does any of you want it?
Nope.
No, to attune to that. Yeah, cool.
Sell? Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm all for buffing the crew and all, but we're also just choosing not to have money at this point because they are just NPCs.
And you never know what you might find in the shops. So,
Yeah.
potion of water breathing, which I'll add, and then the
Ring of acid resistance.
You might we've done acid.
Sell
You
it.
might as well sell it.
head of an assumption, but
The
We'll
okay.
just get Brian to carry everyone back and forth. It'll be
The
fine.
plate's already said for the brazier. That can be used by anyone. It doesn't require attunement, but it does have quite a steep cost to activate.
And we
Isn't
have
quite
5
in
of
its
them.
range.
You have 5 activations already stored up.
Yeah.
I reckon keep it, use the 5 activations, then sell it.
Hmm.
I mean, that's not a bad plan.
That's the type of person who rents a car and brings it back with no petrol, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen,
To be fair,
we should
they
sell
probably
it.
wouldn't be aware. Whoever you sell it, unless you told them, wouldn't be aware of the
For shards, yeah.
sulfurous shards. They'd only know about the rubies. Okay, the cloak of protection then.
I think
I
we
don't
just tell him that.
Yeah,
Can't
none of us
have to
need
give
it.
that away, can we?
No.
Ring of fire resistance. You said you've held on to that for a
Protection's
while.
being sold.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. Like, it's one of those things, isn't it? If we keep it to quickly attune to it before we get somewhere, you still don't know what the fuck's going to happen, do you? So realistically, you would probably just sell it.
Yeah. It's only going to protect one person.
Yeah.
And chances are we forget about it anyway.
Mm.
The golder is pure profit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being sold.
Oh, Aldris.
I think we should be our new figurehead, mount it on the front of the ship.
We'd
The
need ballast
very
in the back of the
expensive
ship.
figurehead that's cost
The-
more than probably the ship.
Yeah.
A potion of flying.
I would say sell.
Yeah, again, it only affects one person.
Necklace of adaptation.
I mean,
Being
that's a very
sold.
powerful thing, but I think it's probably achievement. If it's achievement, we might as well sell it because
It is achievement,
we're
yeah.
pretty much all full of achievement slots.
In fact,
Unless
And
the PM
generous
decides
PM.
to say we have 4 achievement slots.
Are you an artificer?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you?
a barbificer.
Okay.
Cool.
Unironically, what my artificer almost ended up being. Might class into.
So that's
Blah, blah.
63,250 gold.
So add that onto
Nice.
all
Right, about
our
25.
other shite.
Surely we
just
can do
totaling up my end. So
surely we can do a roll to see if we can sell it for 64,000.
Did you take into account the gold that we found as well, Captain?
It's called
this
Jenny, not
is-
Shirley, by the way. For the...
potion of water breathing.
This is purely magic items.
Yeah. This
Gauntlet's
is
flaming fury. Ring of acid resistance.
delete
Cloak
the
of
beast.
protection.
You can just look at the share we're
Ring of
doing.
fire resistance. I'm going over my own numbers. Potion of flying. Necklace of adaptation. And the sneeze snake scales.
Sneaky snake.
So, all told, with the treasure, the gold that you found, and the magic items that you were selling, comes to, on my end, a total of 69,770 gold,
Nice.
Nice.
which is very pleasing.
What
We
was
round
it?
it up to 70.
69,000.
69,770.
Yeah,
Oh, we could easily round that up to 70,000.
yeah, I'm happy and willing to roll a D100
Or
against the PM.
if Martin would prefer, is that 79,250 what you've currently got in the ship?
No,
No, that
this, that number's just the total of.
Oh, the total of all of them. Right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're not selling everything, so that's
But
what
we need a
will-
percentage of how much we've sold compared to how much we've kept. You know. So.
We will do rollies you're going to get to roll against my big sparkly purple die. So choose your champion.
Captain.
Captain.
What's
Captain.
it for?
It's for rounding it up to 70,000.
El Capitan.
But what's the roll? Is it just a D20?
Yeah,
It's rollies.
Wonder if fucking. Here you go.
And it's 79.8%
Shut
of the
Action.
String close up.
Oh no! You can't see shit.
No, we can't see it. Can we?
Oh, it's really
Natural
blurry.
20! Woo!
Can't make it out.
No, don't know.
It looks like you'll
It's
get
just blur.
Song two.
It's,
You can't even see. It's a 19.
Yay! Current PM, what you got?
Yeah.
sorry, I couldn't hear couldn't see
19.
the result. 19.
Yeah.
Yes.
That beats my 11. So
Hey!
70,000 it is.
All that to round up an extra 230 gold.
Indeed.
We
It's
know
the
how to
principle
live.
of the matter.
No, wait, I'm sure it said to round it up to 80,000, right? Yeah?
Yeah, well, that was my persuasion check. I'll add on my modifier.
Do you want to add on?
My insight modifier beat 40.
Do you want to add on my
it's 27.
persuasion? My persuasion's plus 11. Just saying.
Was it? Mine's only +8.
Okay. So,
So
round
70.
that up. 70,000. You
Oh,
can plug that into your calculation.
Oh, plus 70,000 plus the money we've sold as well. The magic items we sold, so it's 130 something
No.
thousand.
No, that is
that
including
70,000 is the total.
Yeah.
It's 63,000 and something with the magic items, and then the other
For the
gold
magic
made it
items.
69,750.
Oh, right, okay.
I have it all written down on my notepad. That's why I was counting through it on that.
So that's 4,200 each for you guys.
Mm.
Pretty tidy. You got paid more by the captain than you did by Queen Orala.
Yeah, she's a stingy bitch.
Okay,
Almost as if that's
Can
part
I-
of the law.
Seriously, we're still in the port.
can I just request that everybody give 200 gold for Orala's temple?
Yeah, happily.
You can request it.
Yeah, I'm requesting it.
How much was it? 4,000?
200.
4,000.
Yeah.
So you're
I've
requesting that
I've taken 200 out of mine.
the party all
I
round
will,
down to 4,000.
I will, but it's for a specific purpose because I wanted to do a final in very similar circumstances to the sort of like ritual he did before we set out to confront Kaishun. I'll have sort of spread the gold into the bay, basically.
Yeah, I'll give 200 because everyone else is.
Is anybody not giving 200?
Yeah.
Black.
I will.
That wouldn't do it, no.
Okay.
Doesn't believe in gods.
2, 4, 6,
Except
8,
for
10.
the several that you've
12.
met.
Yeah,
So
that-
I will take 1,200 gold to the temple.
Your
Who else isn't then?
donation.
Well, 1,200?
Yeah. Lack and Ilus are not giving me 200.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Ilis is doing it himself.
Sorry, I thought Isla said yes. Sorry. Okay. got it.
Ilus is doing
You
it,
did,
but
but
not through
he's
me.
doing
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was, you were about to say Aldous is taking 1,200 gold from all of us apart from Lack.
Yeah, he's just taking it for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I will take it to the temple and in my head talk to Ahanra
Mhm.
and tell her that this is the donation from myself and the crew.
As well accepted. Maintain your mind, Aldris. Hold against what's trying to.
I will do my best. Thank you for your assistance.
With that donation made, you all ultimately decide, with your future still uncertain, plans to head south to investigate what is happening to Marquez with the cult. You take the evening to yourselves, the crew celebrating a well-fought battle and the rescue of Skywatch. And that is where we are going to leave for today. And for probably quite a little bit, as that will be the pause as we go back to the interesting realm of Helleran and the hell that it is.
Indeed.
Oh no, I've got to be serious again.
Did you want to do conspiracy beards before we move on?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Do we
very excited to hear your conspiracy beards over everything.
Awesome.
do we level up?
You leveled up last session, Fiddy. Fuck off. Fuck off, Fiddy.
But we just made loads
there
of money.
Yeah. So
If
I've
this
had-
was an older form of D&D, you would have leveled up by spending your money.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
conspiracy beards here.
Awesome.
is there any?
Ah, I don't have my conspiracy ears. I feel naked.
You conspiracy horns.
I need
I
a,
don't know if they are
I need a
either.
brush from my beard.
You need to brush it a little bit.
But yeah,
Hit me with your conspiracy
Arala.
beards.
we'll pretend I have conspiracy beard on it. So Arala said that there was like another god that had been taken over by the words.
Leech.
Leeches.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Leech.
She definitely said that there was a god involved in the sinking.
Yeah, and it was a case of Aldralis is not his prison is not Aldris. So clearly Aldralis is a god that has been corrupted by the leeches, and is close enough to Arala that she hadn't got the heart to kill him, and instead has trapped him somewhere, hoping that she will still be able to restore him properly, but can't admit this to anyone because it's kind of a big thing to know that she's holding on to a ticking time bomb. So there's my beard.
So are we saying that Aurora stole Alderanis's power?
Possibly.
Interesting.
Or maybe there was like a coupley kind of, power share thing going on until one got corrupted and then she had to take over entirely by herself.
Maybe, but in that session that I had, Alderanis tell me not to trust Arala, and Ahanra told me not to trust Alderanis. Too many A names going on there.
Yeah.
But like, I've got shots being fired across
For
both
the-
towers, going,
The original Empire, all the names with A. Great fun.
yeah.
Any other conspiracy beards out there? What do you think's going on?
Well, I'm somewhat curious as to whether Kingston's been leeched or if he's just generally a horrible human being.
Sounds
Well-
like just a horrible human being.
What I will say is that from Ilis's constant pinging with his aura during the battle, none of the blue blades in that fight were leeched.
Yeah.
Or under any kind of influence or charm.
Yeah. 'Cause
So-
he would be. Ilis has been ever since he sort of freed that priest, and also Ilis has a theory that the god that was taken over was actually Visnar's, the angelfish god.
Anglerfish.
The anglerfish, the lantern, and that was the one that was taken over. And because the culters basically subsumed their priests and essentially their faith into the Devourers.
Interesting theories.
I was me being Fiddy, who playing quite a
You're Fiddy? What?
relaxed character,
Holy
and dumb
shit.
character. I
Conspiracy
try
of the year.
I try and disconnect from conversations going on what I don't hear, so it doesn't affect me. But one thing I did pick up on, so tell me if I'm wrong, but when we had obviously like session 0, and when we were talking about stuff in the beginning of the campaign, PM, I had the Morrow Trident, and I was basically set out to, in my head, to master it, to do to my tribe as such, to get that. And now Orala has just said that I am fit to be Alcia's champion.
Well, you're fit. You've passed her trial.
Yeah.
If you remember from back when it was just the four of you, you did a trial on at the main temple of Alai, where you fought with the merfolk.
Ah, yes.
And that was your first trial, and you got a moonstone embedded into the trident.
Mhm.
And now
Well,
you
you
just
get
had a gold
guidance.
gem.
Cayman, Lido King.
Yeah. Okay, so I forgot about that. I thought all 3 of the slots were empty, and that was my first one.
No,
No,
the first one you got
there
was your
were
guidance.
4
Because-
slots.
Yeah. Oh, 4 slots. Okay.
One at the base of the trident, which was the moonstone, and now you've got 3. One, the center, has been filled with the gold gem, and the other 2 remain empty.
Okay. It's the first time I've been a potential champion. I feel under pressure now.
Should ask Rocket.
You do have a guide.
Yes, I do. Which is quite settling, to be fair. But yeah, actually to hear it kind of like potential champion in words directly to Klein was kind of like,
The original plan was to have a full dungeon that you guys would have to kind of crawl through in the trial with Orala. It was a whole thing, but I ended up changing plan relatively early on, and instead deciding to fold in a bit more of the Blue Blades and a bit more of the threat that they represented.
yes.
So, yes. Also, fun fact, there was a magic item you missed in today's session.
What?
Sank to the bottom of the Bay of Skywatch on Kaishin's body. The armor. Nobody took the armor off of Kaishin's body.
I asked you about it. You just like, it's well made.
I said that it was very well made, and then mentioned the bullets. There was no
Right,
no
back to
further
Skywatch.
investigation of it.
I'll
Back
swim
to
when I get
Skywatch.
it.
Let's get that +1 studded leather.
Oh, I should
I watch.
I was too busy worrying about the captain.
And Klein was too busy trying to figure out what the hell to do with this golden art.
Yeah. He took the vision,
Yeah.
literally.
Right, well,
Yeah.
thanks, Jay. I need to go to bed. I've got work tomorrow.
Thank you very much, guys.
That was a fun session.
Yep, it was indeed. Thank you very much. We, of course, will be back here on Sunday for the Investigators. And we'll take a little break, a couple of weeks, and then we'll be back here on Tuesdays for Hell Around Rising with my favourite little buddies, my Chaos Dwarves. Love those guys. So, if
Yeah,
you
I think
liked
we're in
it,
some
thank you
trouble
very
here.
much. Why wouldn't you like that? That was fucking brilliant. If you didn't like it, however,
Especially the
fuck
admin.
off. Seriously, just fuck
Right,
off.
George.
Alright, see you later.
Numbers,
Bye.
numbers, numbers.